What is going on, everybody? My name is Icarus, and I am going to be playing some EVE Online today, and I'm actually going to be doing some Tier 4 Raging Gamma Filaments in a passive fit Gila. Real quick to run through my fit, I do have it called Hunter. I am out there hunting everything in the Abyss. I have 4 stacked Rapid Light Missile Launchers, Tech 2, firing some Fury. Gamma Filaments will typically have an exposure to the explosive damage. However, the amount of damage increase that the Gila actually gives us for kinetic and thermal will actually outweigh the benefit of shooting into the explosive hole that is created by the filament. In my last high slot here, I have a drone link augmenter, and then I have 4 Republic Fleet large shield extenders, Pitham A-type, thermal amplifier, and a Federation Navy 10mm afterburner. I do also have 2 Fed Navy drone damage amplifiers, or Caldari shield power relay, and 3 purgers in order to get me to 160 shield hit points per second of natural recharge, which will increase due to the gamma filament. So with this being a tier 4 or a T4, we will be using the Gamma Ray Afterglow, which will give a bonus to shield HP. And in EVE, the more shield points you have, so right now we've got 18,283. The more you have, the more health you gain per second. I do also have some mutated Valkyries, Republic Fleet Valkyries that I rolled. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pop one of these. This has been earning me about 150 million ISK per hour, so not too bad overall, but we'll see kind of what we can do. I do have EVE Abyss Tracker on the other monitor here, and let it rip and see what we can do here. So this is devoted. You will be seeing a lot of EM out of this one. This is a Sansha. So you're really going to have to be careful, especially with like these devoted knights. They do a lot of damage. So what I like to do... Oh, I'm already at max. I was going to say what I like to do is I like to send out a drone to pop these. I'm going to take one drone in specific, start using them, and now that these devoted fishers are in range, I can start throwing a little damage their way. I do have a amplifier or sensor dampening on me right now, so it's going to prevent me from locking further targets. We do have 32 kilometers of range. Looks like we're not going to be able to hit due to the autonomous... Oh, the one that I'm right on top of. Due to the suppressor there, it's destroying the missiles in air. I do have a pack rat that I'm going to launch here as we are somewhat close to the transfer conduit. We will need to start getting some damage out on some of these fellers. That way they don't really eat through my shields as much as it looks like they are starting to. But they also did switch over to my drones. These drones do have a lot more shield and a lot more armor. So I'm going to try to pop this devoted real quick. And then I'm going to recall them just so that I switch aggro back. Okay. Switch aggro back onto my ship. All right, go. Perfect. Coming home. Switch aggro before I get into armor on these. That node got a little far on me. Let's start moving that way. All right, now we see we're red boxed by everything again, so we're going to pop everything back out. I'm going to take out this sensor dampener because he's just absolutely crushing my range, my targeting range here. We're going to go rock and roll with that. And everybody's still red boxed on me. Good to go there. Awesome. Dampener's gone. Next up, we're going to pop that devoted knight, but I also need to get rid of these webs. That way, oh, there's a lot more webs coming in from these fishers. These fishers are going to do their webbing. But I'm going to take out these, like I said, devoted knights, as they do hit like a freaking truck. They are switching back onto my drones. Call them in real quick. This room is very kind of tedious. And they can get you into low armor if you don't get enough damage out in a timely manner. Not quite as bad as like the harrowing. Harrowing and Kikimoras will like build up damage against you, and it can get kind of sketchy. I was actually flying some the other day, and I actually got down to, I think it was like 30% shields, which is right on the cusp of like your shield or your passive tank breaking, which is not good. Also, having some problems applying this damage. Come on, switch over. Alright, so everybody's now red boxed the ship again. I'm gonna drop the drones once more, which are just getting eaten alive by these autonomous suppressors. Should be almost. Yeah, we're starting to gain some traction here. I'm gonna send them off to pop some of these further cans. We are, what, 4 minutes in? This one's going to be a little bit of a longer one. So hoping that we can get some quicker rooms as we get a little bit further in here. Just sending those out gave me a fair bit of shields. All right, they're starting to... Yellow box means they're switching to aggro. So you want to watch out for your drones. Just need to get these fissures off. Fissures will slow them down and potentially cause you to lose them. 20%. Still 20. I think we're just going to leave that the way that it is. Perfect. Got another one down. And 25. Yeah, we've broken into a positive with the shield recharge on those. Come on, hurry up. Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to turn down the tunes just a hair. And just let the drones eat at this point. We do have to kind of watch our time. We are almost 6 minutes in on the first room. That is very, very slow. I'm typically rocking and rolling into the second room by about 2 minutes. This was a little bit of a rough first room. But we do have everything locked. The extraction node is about to get popped. We're just going to go ahead and scoop back to our pack rat, snag that, and send out all the drones. 6 minutes. This is probably going to be about a 7-minute room, 7.5-minute room. So you do get 20 minutes into the abyss. It's going to be running a little close. But it should be doable unless we get like back-to-back Karens or overminds. Okay. What do we got? 14.5 mil estimated. Most of your loot's going to come from these Triglavian survey databases. Sell them at the Concord stations for $100,000 a piece. Do not sell them to other people. It's like, do not pass go, do not collect $200. I don't need to wait on that last one because it was empty, so we're going to scoop that, and we're going to slide on over to the transfer node. Pull in the drones because they'll start attacking the suppressors, which is so annoying. We're going to go ahead and reload on our way, and that's room 1 done. So we should be hitting 7:21 in, should be hitting the transfer at 7.5 minutes. That'd be pocket 1 done. I think I'm going to run 2 here in this episode, and I will post my fit in the description. I hope you guys are enjoying, and I am thinking about starting a new alpha character, just focused on like road to Omega, road to a billion type of a situation. Oh this is going to be an easier one. Just for the fun of it, like, I think you can pretty easily plex your account using the Abyss. Now, it'll get tedious, but it's basically like running back to back like burner missions or just mission running all day. Like, I think your income in the Abyss is going to be significantly higher than what you would see in like mission running. So I think it's a good alternative, especially if you want to kind of mix things up. Because we all know high sec, it's not going to be, you're not going to be plexing your account with mining unless somehow you get into like some ice mine or ice belts and just kind of rock and roll and kind of do a bunch of the different fuel blocks, everything like that. I've actually, one of the reasons I wanted to pop on and actually record some of this stuff is I've been watching a little bit more of the YouTubes for EVE. Used to watch Zach all the time. Did some pretty awesome, probably ought to drop the MTU. Used to do a lot of awesome montages. Hope he's doing well nowadays. But there's a Ardco. He's doing the whole fuel block, and I think the Oz actually started doing a road to Omega as well using station trading. So definitely recommend those two. Very interesting content. And with this room, you really want to watch out for the blast grip. They will be shooting and switching a lot to your drones, especially in this boat, and they shoot explosive. So they're going to be shooting right into the hole that's caused by the afterglow, the gamma ray afterglow. So you're losing 50% of your resistance immediately to that. So we're going to go ahead and target the blast gripper to start with. We're actually going to shoot some missiles this time. And I really should be moving, but there's no way that these 3 ships are going to like break my tank in this situation. But when you are running, you want to make sure that you're always moving, especially like if you're running your prop mod like I just was. Just need to be cognizant. And as you can see, they switched and they are chewing right through that guy. So I need to get him back in before dropping into armor. We are 10.5 minutes in. So we did get lucky hitting this room. This room is one of the easier ones, a little more forgiving, but you need to watch out for the explosive damage in this one. What do we got? Raging Dark. Triglavians again. It's my Isogen. Okay. Last one here. And we should be getting... Man, he likes to switch a lot. 24, 26. But we should be... there he goes. Dropped into armor. Let's get him back. Leave him out, though. Leave him attacking. Got them both back already. Make sure that he's on me again. Fire. Okay. So, 12 mil out of this room. We do need to get close to it. Alright, he will be going down. We are running up on time. So we'll scoop and run. And reload while we're doing that. We could overheat. I don't think overheating really makes a whole lot of sense. Now that we're in, we are actually repping 241 damage per second versus the 160 without the extra shields. We went from 18.5 to almost 27,500 shield points, hit points. If we were to overheat, we could take this bad boy to almost 1,000 meters per second. Again, I don't think that we need it. We should be getting there relatively quickly. There is a... What do we got? We got Speed Cloud, it looks like. And partially colorblind, so always taking stabs in the dark here. So we got everything. We are... That first room really kind of messed up the timing on this one. This one's going to be a little close. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, we got just under 7 minutes to finish this. Please don't be like a Karen. Thank goodness. Okay. Kikis, going to be hitting you pretty hard. They do spoil up, so they will take a while before they start hitting you terribly hard. So I like to take out the Rodiva first. You really should be focusing on like the starving. That way you stay cap stable, or not even cap stable. That way you can stay capped up. But I'm going to start with the Rodiva, or the renewing, just so it's not such a pain in the butt when I start hitting into structure on some of these other ones. It's really not that big of a deal one way or the other. But, yeah, it is what it is. Come on, pop something. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to steal one, send him all the way out there. Send this other one on starving. Or could leave him on that one that he was already taken out. Let's see, that one's there. Okay, we're going to drop one of these tanglings so that I can talk, or, so I can hit this bioadaptive. Going to hit our little orbit so that we keep our momentum up. Kind of doing our speed tank a little bit. Did I have a stroke or did I not hit F1? There we go. Perfect. And they really should start dropping like flies. Got kind of lucky here at the end. We do have, what, 5 minutes left? So this room has taken 2 so far. And looks like we're going to be making it again. Everything's within pretty close range, so I can wait for all my goodies. It's not that big of a rush. Yeah, we'll be fine. It's like they're staying pretty consistent on me. Ran out of charges. Now that we are back on a Demovic, let's see if we can actually pop it after, you know. Saying that's what we should have focused on in the first place, huh? So, much like that first room, or that second room, there's not going to be a whole lot that they can really do to me. So I'm just going to approach my pack rat at this point and scoop it. So if I stop, it's not the end of the world. That's not a bad one. We got 19.8 estimated. A lot of that going to be from this exotic. And then we have 2.9 from the Triglavian surveys. So we're scooped a pack rat. Pack rat's in. We're good to go there. Make sure that that's going that way. Perfect. So I'm going to copy this real quick. Come over to my handy dandy little cheat sheet on Abyss Tracker just to figure out exactly how much I made here. Forgot to input the starting, so we're just going to go through and take out everything that we got and put an extra gamma in there. I thought we were approaching already. Okay, so that's estimated about a $32 million haul on this one. Not too shabby. For, what, 17 minutes? So you got 60 divided by 17. You could get about 3.5 on those. Typically, I run them faster, but we'll do 3. Whoop, 3 times. We'll call it 30 at this point. It's about 90 mil. Typically, like I said, run them a little quicker. Just got a little stuck on that. So we're just going to scoot away from that trace right there. And we will be popping my other one. Let me go ahead and save this run. And then find our Raging Gamma. Make sure you are on the Gamma. And you can double check by 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes. Gamma ray, good to go. So we're going to go ahead and activate it and see what we find in this one. Another one. Another Sansha first room. So you want to make sure that you start moving before you drop your drones, because if you drop your drones first, they will attack the drones because that's the first thing that moves. They're like the predator. You move, you get got. I'm gonna send one over to that node. Gonna be approaching the transfer node this time. Got some devoteds coming in here. What are they doing? Guidance disrupting, so they're gonna make it a little harder to hit with my missiles. But should still be able to connect, especially without a... I was gonna say without a suppressor, but nope, we got a suppressor on me again. It's fun. We're going to pop that off. We're going to go over there. We do have... Oh, I'm getting capped. Who's capping me? The Smiths. Which, honestly, this fit should be fine. Should be. There we go. The capacitor is empty. Okay, so we really need to start getting some of this damage off me. Really, a lot of it will go down when this Devoted Knight is taken out. And with these little beetle-looking guys, I'd just throw one drone on them. And then I send another set of missiles out to the other ones. And typically those drones can do a good amount of damage and really speed up taking out these little guys. 4 devoters four Smiths are draining me. Sucking me dry, Captain. Okay. Perfect. This one went idle, so we'll go there. That one just went idle. So, should be pretty close to being done here. This one obviously going a lot smoother than the first one. We're about 2.5 minutes in, and if we look over here at our targets remaining, we're about halfway through. With what's left on the field, there isn't a whole lot that can break us. So I'm just going to sit on the pack rat. Actually, I don't need to do that anymore, as we did get everything $11 million or 11 million room. We're going to go ahead and scoop that. And start scooting towards our transfer conduit. Need to reload the missiles. We are more than halfway through. Drones are kind of taking a little bit of damage. Anything terrible. And yeah, we're just kind of scooting along on this one. I'm probably going to wait on the gate for a minute just to get a little more cap just so that I can run the afterburner. Speed tanking is a thing. It does reduce a little bit of your damage, especially if you're getting like a Karen wave. Where you really kind of want to have your transversal up, otherwise you're going to get smoked. All right, perfect. So we're going to split drones again with these little guys. It's not the end of the world. I like getting damage across multiple drones, multiple different targets. That way, we can kind of whittle them all down. I mean, DPS is DPS one way or the other, as long as you're beating the natural regeneration. Okay, perfect. So we'll load those in. Probably wait. What do we want to wait to? Probably having 2 slivers. So what would that be? That'd be about 12-14%. And if you can tell on this one, we actually rolled a significantly more explosive resistant penalty. So when you start getting into the 4, it could either be a 50% or a 70%. This one is a 70%. So if we look at our resistance, your explosive, which is this one here, is only 32. So if you do find yourself with blast strikers or anything like that, you're going to really want to focus on those because they will eat you alive. All right, so we got an overmind. So that will just eat time, basically. And before those glaze minders hit me, I'm going to send out the drones on the extraction node and on the bioadaptive. And I'm going to scoop my way over to the transfer conduit. What did we got? Filament cloud, we're okay with that. I want to send one over to the plate forger. Honestly, like, we need to get some damage on the overmind here because they are a brick shithouse. They are omni resisted and have about 1.5 million, sarcastically speaking, hit points. They are a sponge. So we'll hit that with that. We will wait till we get a little bit closer to the transfer conduit before we drop the MTU. In this situation, it makes sense to get closer because our overmind is going to take us forever to actually get taken care of. That drone should be going after the snare. That way we get the webs off and I can scoot a little bit quicker. Usually helps if you have your prop mod on as well there, Ick. Alright. Now we're cooking. And as you can tell, like, these plate forgers are not going to get like automatically aggroed if you weren't aware. If they don't have your red boxed, yellow boxed, if they're not trying to do any damage to you, your drones aren't going to automatically go. Because if you have them set to, what is it, aggression or wherever it went, like automatic aggress or something, used to be. Wow, has it really been that long for me? We used to have a little option somewhere in there where you could automatically aggress or not if somebody is being hostile towards you. Let's see, we're 7 minutes and we're a vast majority of the way through this second pocket. So this one will be significantly quicker. So first one was, what was it, 17 minutes, 18 minutes? Second one's probably going to be like a 13. If I had to take a guess here, depends on what we potentially get in this last room. It's like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to get. Let's see what we've got. In our MTU, we got an exotic filament and some Triglavian surveyed databases. So 6.2, we paid 13.5 million to run each one of these. The first one netted us 33. So we made 20 mil for 20-ish minutes. If we take into account the, no, sorry, my brain. We made 30 mil after paying that 13. And I'll show you my stats. I'll post a screenshot as we end this run. Just a screenshot of the 2 runs. That way you can kind of see what we got. And we're going to start making our way downtown over to the transfer conduit. Okay. So like I said, brick shit house. Once you get to structure, that's when you know it's going to take forever. It's like a triple reinforced bulkhead. Dummy. Actually, let's take a little peek-see. Look at it. Yeah, I'll take a little screenshot here, huh? Okay. Let's now, if you're do a little right click here and then look at it. That was bad. Okay, so we're going to recall our drones with Shift R. Come on, boys. And we're off to the last room. 9 minutes. 9 minutes, 20 seconds for the first 2. Not too shabby. Okay, so we got a... What do we got? We got sleepers. This one, you're going to run into a lot of target painting, guidance, and with these dissipators. Words are hard. A lot of neuting. So, as we can see, we're being sensor dampened by only having 55 kilometers of range versus our standard 30 or 73. We're going to have to wait a little bit. We send them over to the bioadaptive, and then we start firing them off at these bad boys. Lancers are going to be your damage dealers. Yep. Good old damage dealers, but they have like no resists, so they should pop pretty darn quick. And we are taking a little bit of damage. Where are we rolling it in from? We are rolling some explosive, thermal, EM. Not too bad. Okay, so we are finally in range. I'm going to start locking everything up. We're going to send a drone over there. We're going to move over to the origin conduit, which is being capped out over there. One of the really cool things that I like about the Abyss space, like it is an ISK faucet, but also like it makes you feel a lot closer to your ship. Like you can zoom in real quick and like, oh yeah, shoot, there's everything. Like it's so cool. But we are taking some damage. Need to start bleeding some of these guys off. Trying to figure out how to take a screenshot, and it's been forever. I'm a professional, I promise. Okay. So you got one that's starting the yellow box. Probably going after the drones. We are within 10 kilometers. I think that's safe, or that's close enough to drop my pack rat. Let's see, we have 8 minutes left, so we're 12 minutes in. Might have been a little over eager with the 13-minute guesstimation on the run. Especially with how many sleepers we got. Confusers will make it harder to hit with your missiles. Let's start working on this cap issue. Okay. With the pack rat, I like it because you also collect things a lot quicker. So instead of 1,000 meters a second, so it's 1,250. Highly recommend. It is a big upgrade. Okay, let's go over to this dissipator. 70. Yeah, we're sitting stable now. We'll go ahead and approach. We are, what, 10 seconds away from gathering that. 13 minutes. Much better run than last time. Let's get these last guys locked up. What did we get? We got 26 estimated. Where's that coming from? So 10 coming from our Triglavian. We got another Chaotic Dark. So we'll loot all of those. We'll Control A to select all, copy. Bring that over to the Abyss Tracker. Something feels goofy. Oh. I need to scoop it first. I was like, how did I only make $3 million on that one? So, Control A. All right. And it didn't pick it up again. Control A, copy. 13 items. There it is. 43 on that run. As long as we get out. Which should be no problem. About a 15-minute run. 14 and a half currently. Obfuscator is probably a better... No, we're just going to go for Damage Lancer. As you can see, 71, 61, 62. Lancer is going to be the primary damage dealer. I mean, they're all going to deal a little bit of damage, but the Lancer is high damage, quote unquote. Then we got Obfuscator, who again will be your like sensor dampener, all sorts of stuff like that, as you can see. Grab that on accident. And we have our last one here. So I was off. Be about a 15.5 minute. Okay, so we'll recall our drones. Make sure we got our MTU. Never leave home without it. And jump. All done. So that's 2 Abyss runs done. That was a 15:37 officially on the clock. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to station and dock up. And then we'll get this episode ended all nice and tidy. So save that run. And if we just run some really quick numbers, real meatball math, over here on Abyss Tracker, I'm going to look at my 2 most recent runs here. And one of them, so that's, call it 17 minutes and 15 minutes. So 32 minutes. And we do 60 divided by 32. Nope, 32 divided by 60. My brain is not working. Let's go ahead and back that all up. Do that again. So we're going to do 17 plus 15 divided by 2, average being 16. Ha! Math. And then we're going to take 60 divided by 16. That's getting about 3.75 runs an hour. Not necessarily the best. I think some of my best were about 5 runs an hour. And if we do that, so we're just going to take it by 3.5. Just make it super simple here. We got 43 million. So we'll do 43. And we got 32 million. So 75. And we're going to take that times 3.5. So not too bad. About a 262 million ISK hour on average. I was mentally making sure that the math was right. But yeah, that is it for today's episode. I hope you did enjoy it. If you want to see more content about EVE and maybe that road to Omega with an alpha clone or an alpha character starting from nothing, building his way up, let me know down in the comments. But if we just take one last little peek-see here at this fit is 864 million ISK all in. That does include, am I not running? Have to be running implants. No, I'm not running. Yeah, I am. Yeah, but these are like 10 million at most. So implants are pretty standard. There's nothing to write home about. Probably if we threw everything together, it's about a billion ISK Gila. It's not necessarily new bro friendly, but once you do quite a few Abyss sites, you'll find yourself with that amount of ISK. And I hope everybody continues to fly safe, and we'll see you in the next episode.